Hey, welcome to the Trash Picture Show. Today I will be reviewing Jurassic World, which came out in 2014 and was directed by Colin Trevorrow. You might know him as the director of Safety Not Guaranteed. Since Jurassic Park 3 came out, a lot of fans fell out of love with the franchise and Universal decided to put it on the back burner. A lot of ideas were bounced around on scripts and stories involving dinosaurs being engineered with humans or being used for military applications, and some of these ideas did find their way into the finished script. The movie ignores The Lost World, Jurassic Park, and Jurassic Park 3 and picks up 20 years after the events of Jurassic Park. After John Hammond's death, a millionaire by the name of Musrani has taken over the park. He has relabeled it Jurassic World. It's run by his ever faithful administrator, Claire Dearing, played by the ever awesome Bryce Dallas Howard. Along with Claire, there is a program to train raptors, and they have brought in a Navy soldier by the name of Owen Grady, who, while he doesn't think it's a good idea, has respect for the raptors and does see that there is some kind of benefit to training these creatures, but he also respects them. However, as the coming years have passed, people have found that dinosaurs aren't as fantastic as they used to be from the original Jurassic Park. As Claire says, to most kids, seeing a dinosaur is like seeing an elephant in the zoo. So they have decided to meddle with nature and create the first ever dinosaur hybrid, the Indominus Rex, a combination of every fierce, savage theropod dinosaur on the fossil record. Suffice to say, things do not go right, and both Owen and Claire have to stop the dinosaur rampaging across the park. There is a fantastic cast. Vincent D'Onofrio also turns up as Hoskins, an InGen representative who is an ulterior motive. B.D. Ron returns as Henry Wu, who has almost a Dr. Frankenstein-like quality about him. He was the man who engineered the Indominus Rex, and you kind of get the feeling he's proud of his creation, even though it's causing a major muck and danger and has killed people. The visual effects are pretty awesome, but sadly the practicals seem to have fallen by the wayside. Most of the dinosaurs appear in a kind of visual effects in green screen and in CG. There is little to no kind of practical effects, bar a Apatosaurus which is dying. They just use a head and the rest is CG'd. I enjoyed this movie. I had a lot of problems with this movie as well, though. For example, the fact Musrani says that John Hammond gave him the rights to make the park. But if I remember exactly, at the end of the first Jurassic Park, Alan Grant says to John Hammond, "After careful consideration, I've decided not to endorse your park." To which Hammond replies, "So have I." So did Hammond get Alzheimer's or something and then decide, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to make a Jurassic Park anyway. But there is lots of kind of flaws in it. Some of the characters are really well developed and some are badly developed. For example, Claire's two nephews, they did try and give them a lot of relatability and kind of make you like them. It was hit or miss. I kind of found the kids sometimes annoying, sometimes engaging, but they weren't really properly developed. There did also feel like a juxtaposed romance between Owen and Claire. If you could compare it to something, it would be very like kind of Romance in the Stone, or what's that other movie with Michael Douglas? Oh, I can't think, but Jewel of the Nile, that's it. Basically, it felt like more of a silly rom-com kind of romantic connection than a proper romantic connection. But bar that, it was a fun movie. There was some really cool sequences. For example, the scene involving the Avery, the pterodactyls, and Dimorphodons escape in Avery and wreak havoc on the main thoroughfare of the park, which culminates in a mosasaur eating some people and some of the dinosaurs. Also, the battle at the end is amazing. You have basically an Avengers team up between a T-Rex and a Velociraptor to take down the Indominus Rex, which is a massively silly, but I have to give Colin Trevorrow like kudos, because if if he had done it in half measure, it would have been shit. But he was like, no, fuck it. These two are teaming up to take on this thing. And it's not even. A lot of people could argue it's stupid. Why would these animals team up? They're not really teaming up. It's just this is a bigger monster, and they want a piece of it. That's kind of my view on it. As I said, not a perfect movie, a lot of flaws, but definitely a really fun kind of summer blockbuster. And I went to see it 3 times, and I loved going to see the movie and seeing that people had brought their kids, and the kids were really getting into the movie. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, because it is nice to see a summer movie that can cater for an entire audience. And I think Jurassic World brought that back. There is going to be a sequel, which I'm kind of half and half about. I don't know. I enjoyed this one, but I think they should maybe not milk the franchise, then it's already been milked. But again, it's Jurassic Park. If it makes money, they'll keep on making movies. The merchandising kind of wagon was a bit lackluster. There was very few things released for the release of the movie. Hasbro made these kind of biter basher dinosaurs, which are kind of cool. They even done these weird genetic hybrid ones like Stegosauratops and Ankylosaurus, which is a regular kind of dinosaur. One thing I didn't like about the figures is they have these screw holes on the side, which ruin the figures. But they're pretty cool. They're not as good as the old Kenner figures, which came out in the day. But if you are a fan of the Jurassic Park kind of action figures, do pick these up, because they are pretty cool to have. And yeah. So my thoughts on Jurassic World. Not a perfect movie, but certainly a worthy addition to the Jurassic Park movie series. And if you're a fan of adventure or dinosaur movies, definitely give this one a look. My name's Martin. If you've any thoughts or views on Jurassic World, leave them in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and have a good one. Take care. Bye now.